Hey everyone, it's Ashley. I'm here with today's craft and we are doing fabric slashing. You are going to need a sewing machine, an iron, some sewing straight pins, scissors, a seam ripper, and then various pieces of fabric or tulle or some fun yarn, whatever you have laying around. And then a bigger piece of fabric that you can fold in half that will be the size of your piece. You can use any size you wish. We want to iron out that piece of fabric just to get most of the wrinkles out. Then we're going to open it up. And you take all those random pieces of fabric and tulle and pile it up inside. You don't want it to be organized. You want it to be very random and messy. The messier it looks, the better the finished piece looks. Alright, so make sure everything's tucked in there. And then we're going to take our straight pins and we are going to fold under the edges and pin them together. You can certainly just leave them not folded under. It's totally up to you, but this kind of gives it a little cleaner look. And we are just be pinning 3 of the edges. You don't have to worry about the side that's already folded. I did have a piece of fabric that had a rough edge that I'm using as my bottom, so I did not pin under or fold under the bottom edge there. Alright, once you get all 3 edges pinned up, just kind of push the pieces around inside, fill in those voids. Shake it around if you feel like it. And then you're going to take your iron again and just kind of flatten everything out once more. Alright, now we're going to sew along all 4 edges of our piece. You can use whatever stitch you want or whatever seam allowance you want. It's completely up to you. Again, kind of push things around, shake it around. Spread out those pieces inside. And now we're going to sew in our different channels for the fabric slashing. I'm calling it kind of a rectangular zigzag. So you are going to do a horizontal line, and then a small vertical line, and then turn it around and do another horizontal line. You are doing a continuous line. You're not sewing all the way to the edges, maybe leave a ½ inch or so from each edge. But horizontal line, a small vertical line, and then another horizontal line, and you're doing this all the way down your piece. You can do these as narrow or as wide as you wish. Depends on how many lines of slash fabric you want. And I did have a piece of fabric that had some horizontal lines on it that I use as a guide, but you certainly don't have to be straight, they don't have to be even. Like I said, this project is very forgiving. Alright, now you're going to grab your seam ripper and you are going to rip through the top layer of your fabric and then through the smaller pieces that are inside as well. So this is a little time consuming. It depends on what kind of fabric you have. Some are easier to rip than others, but you'll start seeing the little pieces start popping out. And with the seam ripper, you get those ragged edges that kind of add to the whole look. So as you work on it, pull the little pieces out, rip through the small pieces inside. Don't rip through the back of your fabric. Fluff it up as you go along too. And I did use scissors to get some fabric started. And then you'll just do that down your whole piece within those channels that you had sewed. Here I'm going to grab a piece that I did for our summer reading program a couple years ago with teens, and I did put a couple grommets at the top so I could hang it up. So you can add whatever you want or display it however you wish. But there you go, there is your finished project. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Friday.